Don't worry, Mom. Dad's too pathetic to do anything. Her voice, sharp, cold, deliberately loud, cut through the hallway the moment I opened the front door. She wanted me to hear. That was the performance. My daughter had made her choice, and this was her entrance line. Exactly, my wife added, a cruel smirk blooming on her lips like a weed choking a dying garden. They stood there by the door, suitcases half-packed, anticipation shining in their eyes like freedom was only a car ride away. Her lover's engine idled outside, steady, smug, like he was certain this was the last time I'd ever matter. Maybe he thought I'd scream. Maybe he expected begging. He didn't know me at all. I didn't raise my voice, didn't plead, didn't ask why. I just reached into my coat pocket, pulled out 2 papers, one for each. I handed my wife the court injunction, an illegal freeze on all joint assets. Effective immediately. She wasn't going to drain a cent. She stared at the paper, the smirk faltering as if the ink itself had slapped her. Then I turned to my daughter. She was 18. Barely. That made her an adult under the law, old enough to make adult decisions, and old enough to face adult consequences. I handed her an eviction notice. You both have 24 hours, I said, voice calm, almost gentle. The silence that followed was louder than any scream. My daughter blinked first. My wife, stunned, stared at the paper like it had betrayed her. And maybe in a way it had. Just not the way she expected. I walked into the kitchen, poured myself a drink, and took a slow sip. I didn't look back. I'd already spent years looking back, waiting, doubting, forgiving, trying. You think 2 decades of shared life, birthdays, hospital runs, laughter in the kitchen and fights in the dark. You think that kind of history forms a bond that's unbreakable. You believe that pain and joy, side by side, will mean something. That raising a child together means loyalty. But I learned something. Not everyone craves love. Some crave leverage. It didn't happen overnight. She started slipping away in fragments. Late nights at the office, unreadable eyes during dinner, a body beside me but a mind miles away. Sex became a chore. Her phone, once left carelessly on the table, now never left her side. Locked. Silent. I didn't confront. I hoped. I told myself it was a phase. That if I just stayed steady, grounded, kind, she'd come back. But she mistook my patience for weakness. And my daughter. God, that wound goes deeper. Once she called me her hero. Used to hug me like I was her whole world. Now she looked at me with the same disdain her mother wore, like perfume. That hurt more than the affair. 3 months ago, I found the first email. Careless. She had gotten sloppy, confident. I read every message, every hotel booking, every photo stashed in secret folders. Every whisper of betrayal. I didn't rage. I didn't speak. I planned. First, I opened a new account. Moved every paycheck. Canceled every shared credit card. I hired a lawyer. One who knew how to fight with silence. I installed cameras, not for revenge, but for documentation. Enough to prove. Never enough to warn. I waited. When my daughter stopped saying goodnight and started calling me by my first name, I knew she'd picked her side. Betrayal doesn't always shout. Sometimes it just stops saying your name with love. But I didn't crumble. She thought the house was half hers. She didn't know I'd bought out her share months ago. Quietly, legally, using part of my inheritance. She thought the hotel charges would never touch her. She didn't realize the credit card was in my name until a fraud case, and a detective's business card, landed on her lap. She thought our daughter's presence gave her leverage. She didn't understand that legally, an 18-year-old is a guest in my home. And she had worn out her welcome. The moment the truth dawned on them, I was already beyond their reach. Armored. Untouchable. She screamed. Told me I was vindictive. That I was tearing the family apart. I took another sip of my drink. You already did, I said. She stormed out. My daughter lingered. Her eyes searched my face for softness, for something familiar. What am I supposed to do? She asked. I didn't offer comfort. Make better choices, I said. Starting now. They left before the 24 hours expired. Her lover never came inside. He just waited in the car, eyes fixed on the steering wheel, afraid of the ruins he'd helped cause. My wife took 3 bags. My daughter just 1. Everything else stayed behind, including the last shreds of respect I had for them. I changed the locks. Now the house is still. No footsteps sneaking around. No whispers in corners. Just peace. Silence finally feels like freedom. The divorce is moving forward smoothly. She'll fight, of course. But courts don't smile on cheaters. Especially those caught with financial fraud tied to their name. I have everything. Texts, receipts, surveillance. A paper trail that tells a louder story than any tearful courtroom plea ever could. A week later, my daughter texted, "Can we talk?" I stared at the message, then deleted it. You don't get to twist the knife and ask why I'm bleeding. Revenge isn't always loud. It doesn't need fists or fury. Sometimes it's just quiet resolve. Sometimes it's watching them walk away with nothing but regret. While you sit in everything they thought they could steal. They thought I was pathetic. But I wasn't. I was patient. And patience, once betrayed, becomes precision. And precision, that's how you end a war. That's how you write the final chapter. And I wrote it perfectly.